Congratulations! You've been selected from this cast of a little for an exclusive, obtrusive, intrusive transmittal from me, Arlecchino, the king of all riddles. Now, you know what I'm called and why I called you, and I want to know your name, but not till we're through. For as soon as I learn that's one riddle burned, and I do love a mystery, don't you? Now, only the living solve riddles, as everyone knows. That's a must. When your city is so full of puppets, it seems are about fit to bust. It's time for the riddle. No more waiting. We thank you for participating. By morning, it walks on feet numbering 4. At midday, just 2. No less and no more. It walks on 3 feet when the evening arrives. And if you solve this, then I'll know you're alive. Correct. Fantastic insights, caller. But not everything has to rhyme, you know. I'm not a caricature. I'm the king of riddles. That said, how do we know you didn't just get lucky? Even a stopped clock is right twice a day, and even a puppet can be accidentally correct just by random chance. Still, a promise is a promise. Arlecchino, tell him what he'll get. Thanks, Arlecchino. Caller, your correct answer has earned you a Trinity key. Doors and keys and doors, the subjects of puzzles and riddles galore. My next riddle won't be so simple to crack. Arlecchino's the king. Not some riddling cheap jack.
Before all this chaos, Fuoco was the puppet in charge of the furnace. But he changed. He was a stand-up fellow once. Now, not so much. I'm told he's still building an army of puppets and marching them on the cathedral. How did this nightmare come to be? Please. You must stop him before he does any more harm. There you are, my boy. My savior, yes, that's the word. You took back the factory, and I cannot thank you enough. Without the factory, no more new puppets. The army has run out of recruits. My friend, you saved, well, all of us.
I want to go back to the old Krat. The old me. Before the greed overtook me.
I've been investigating the puppet frenzy, and it looks like I need your help. First, let me show you a little something I've been working on. I call it the Ergo Wavelength Decoder. The name lacks a certain flair, but I assure you it works.
Another fine day in the city of Krat. But I wonder, my friend, just where you've been? Oh. I hope my return isn't too unexpected. It seems that our fates may be interconnected. Now, do pay attention. You won't want to miss when the king of all riddles says, "Riddle me this." I stand tall and proud when I'm young and bold, but I'm short and humble once I've gotten old. What am I? That's right. Did you cheat? Are you cheating? Better not be cheating. You're irritatingly good at this. Or am I? Oh, impossible. I am the king of riddles, and you are just, well, you. No offense. You're either very lucky, improbably bright, or more likely, you're cheating. But I would never level such an accusation in a culture where dueling is still an acceptable method of solving disputes. I'm the king of riddles, not the king of swordplay. You know, I wonder, perhaps it's your connection to Candle. Because the answer is, right? You get it, but you're not feeling violent. Huh, even better. It's as good a time as any to grant you this boon. Now, take your new key and say, "Give me some room." I can tell you're enjoying these times that we spar. I take leave of you now, but don't go too far.
I always welcome friend.
Incredible! You defeated the king! I gotta think the puppets will have changed too, right? There's only one way to find out. Let's go backstage.
I heard you defeated the king of puppets. Amazing. The puppets appear lost without their leader. They have no purpose, no focus.
just where you've been? Ah. If your goal is to study the human condition, there's no better way than my riddle position. You know how it is. It's time for a quiz. Today's riddle might have you over the barrel. But get this one wrong and you will be in peril. So, answer correctly or tango with danger. But when you quiz with the king, danger's no stranger. Now, listen closely and heed the king's speech, or the answer to this one will stay out of reach. Think about this, whatever it takes. What cannot be used before it breaks? Correct! You were once such a fool, yet you've gotten so clever. I'm as happy as a parent. In this city, there are those who wish to crack the shell and be reborn. How about you? Can you awaken and break free of the shell that is your puppet's body? Oh, it's a frightfully difficult question, huh? So, I'll reward you with a hint. At the grand exhibition, you now must behold all 10 fingertips of the woman of cold. Look close before she escapes your notice. Then I'm done with you. Mostly.
I hear there is a new guest at the hotel, and that you had a little something to do with that. I just find saving people is its own reward. I certainly don't need the money. Even strangers. Everyone deserves some help now and then.
I knew you'd do it! Finally, the last hero weapon is in my hands.
No! Can it be? It can! Are you hurt anywhere? Ha! You never fail to surprise me, compagno.
Another fine day in the city of Krat. But I wonder, my friend, just where you've been? Ah. The king thinks this riddle might be quite a poser. It's all about seeing past the tip of your nose, sir. Observation. It's about observation. Just listen, kid. This one should be easy. You've seen enough of it. If your answer's wrong now, you're not going to love it. This blue flower has many ways to take root, but only on man does it ever bear fruit. a tool for hiding horrifying truths. It is a creation unique to humans. Now then, another question. Not a riddle, no rhymes. Just a question for you. Ergo does not appear out of thin air, so where did all those puppets get all that? Ergo. Ha! Yes! Always leave them laughing. That's what the king says. So, take this key, please. Then I say, up with yes. Till we meet again. I trust you'll remember I lead the club, true, but I'm also a member.
Thank you for another timely rescue, compagno. I seem to find myself once again in your debt. I talk a big game, but when push comes to shove, I freeze. It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic.
City. What a time to be alive! Or a reasonable approximation revived. Soon, this little dance of ours will come to an end. No one's ever danced longer, I promise, my friend. Will you stay with me too and face whatever is coming? For today's a new day, and we have to keep running. I knew that you would, and I find that refreshing. So, the King of Riddles will now hear your confession. Blind confessions reveal one's true guilt. True confessions of blood being spilt. This one's black and white. A no or a yes. Is Geppetto's creation a killer? Confess. Oh my goodness! You really are an incredible liar. And once you get going, ooh, you really catch fire. Ashamed of lying? Or just the murder? I can't stop chuckling. Not since I heard her. You should reconsider that conscience of yours. It's charming, but all this guilt's just such a bore. Or maybe there's no way you can. Perhaps it's part of becoming a man. You were so very wrong that I cannot believe it. But you did make me laugh, so take this. You'll need it. Go on, no rhymes. A surprise gift from Arlecchino, the King of Riddles. We had a good time, I can tell, but now it's time for me to bid you farewell.
I can hardly believe it. But the ergo readings you gathered leave no doubt. No doubt at all, you see? You may not be aware, but I am an orphan. In fact, my parents were murdered before my very eyes. The authorities in Krat insisted it was a mugging, but I know what I saw. A mad, raving puppet killed them. A puppet that was driven by a murderous lunatic's awakened ego. I know that because the lunatic told me his name. Arlecchino. I'll never forget his insane laugh.
Factual guest. I bid you welcome, puppet of Geppetto. This is our first face-to-face meeting, isn't it? And I hope you weren't too attached to the rhyming. It gets to be a chore without the transmitter to help. Welcome to my sanctum of riddles. I admit I did not really expect you to make this journey in person to remember me by.
The toy? But how? The toy my parents made me. You've met him, Arlecchino. We had just watched one of my favorite films, I remember. I begged them to make me the warrior from it. If I hadn't, would my parents still be alive? Would we have been untouched by that murderous puppet? I've always blamed myself. It's a hell of a burden for a child, that kind of guilt. So I hung on. I hung on to the Grand Covenant. I wanted to use it to keep people safe. You know, in many ways, I envy you. Your strength. Thank you for this. Talk about closure.